Okay, so last weekend I was thinking, what can I do on a Labor Day weekend instead of enjoying the nice 3 days of sunshine? I know I'll learn how to code. Um, what I was thinking, fuck the $5 million in their projects, and I'll do it myself. And I've tried to figure out how we can build this ourselves. And the first thing that came up was this application called Replit, which I had dabbled with before, but it kind of scared me. It's an application designer. So first I went to Claude and said, "Hey Claude, do you think?" Because Claude knows the business plan. I said, "Claude, can I build this business plan?" And Claude went, "Well, that's an ambitious project, but sure." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to use Replit." He said, "Fine, let's get you started." So Claude actually taught me how to start on on Replit, and try and put these applications into one spot. It's all right. So I started playing around with Replit, and you don't. It's code based, but you don't have to know how to write code. But you do have to sort of have an understanding of it. I think, which we all do. It's kind of like Spanish to me. I don't. I can read it. I know where it's going, but I have no idea how to write it. So what I've come up with so far is this. Um, we'll just log into the new calshark Media platform, and it's a quick action. Okay, let's start with a new project. Now we can create a podcast, a video podcast, or video show, social media, blog post. All of this is crappy design. It's just a way of getting the elements in a place to see if they will work together. Uh, and so I'll call this one Wombat, and we'll make none of these other ones actually even work. I haven't even tried. I've just been going through podcast so far. So we'll click on podcast. We want to use all these tools, create a project. Okay. So what I did was get all these things together that they've constantly been talking about. So we've got the text generation, which is Claude and Chat come up with the conversation, do the writing. Then it goes to voice synthesis, which is 11 labs. Then it goes to image generation, which is, for this case, ideogram. Music generation is Murica. Video generation is Hey Gen. So all you do is let's go into here and start with text generation. Say, write a 20-second podcast about a wombat. It'll generate the text. It'll ask me which of these do you want to use. I built two in. I built Chat and Claude, so we'll use Claude. Generate the text. It'll pop up in this content output window, and it's come up with what you typically would get using Chat. Uh, so welcome to the Wild Minute. I'm your host. Today we're talking about nature's little bulldozer, the wombat. So we've got our content. Then we're going to go into voice. I'll highlight an area there, and we'll use our 11 labs. I kind of built in all the demos that you can get. If you click on those.
Hello, this is a voice preview. I'm demonstrating how I sound with natural speech patterns.
Sounds kind of scary. So Sarah here.
Hello, this is a voice preview. I'm demonstrating how I sound with natural speech patterns.
So I've incorporated some of those elements you can get from 11 Labs. Obviously, they're much smaller use windows. There's not every possible prompt and option there. I don't even know how to expand on that. I'm sure you can. So it'll generate the voice of that little piece I just highlighted there. It should come back in a moment.
Claude. Upbeat intro music fades. Host. Welcome to Wild Minute. I'm your host, and today we're talking about nature's little bulldozer, the wombat.
All right, so we've got our 11 labs synced to the text generation. Now we'll go to ideogram and let's do a podcast art well, a wombat. Some of these links were not working a few minutes ago. So I've got different versions in here. Let me use the V2A standard because V3 was not working before. We'll try generating an image. Give that a minute. It takes the same amount of time as you would going on ideogram. While that's doing that, we'll go over to music I don't think I can do two things at the same time. Let me wait for that to generate. It's all right. So we've got our, podcast Art of a Wombat. Then we go to the music generation. Let's do a song about a wombat. Pop, using that, generate music, okay. Hit music generation, and it should pop up generating music in the output. That takes about a minute too, so these things are slowly sort of, I've got them to work together. I've got limited options. The UI is horrible. This is just a shitty user interface, but it's just about... I didn't use lyrics in that one, so that's an instrumental version about a wombat. And then you can go to Hey Jen, sing a song about a wombat. And this Hey Jen is connected to our account. But if you somehow I have to organize which voice, if I used to use the newsman
Hello.
voice one.
I am a generated voice you can use, and this is how I sound. I hope you like it.
So
Thank you for listening.
let's build a video of that just quickly. It's all a matter of just getting these elements to somehow work together. And that's generating the video. So all these things are popping up nicely here in your all-in-one application. So getting to this point took about 15 hours. After a couple hours of sort of the learning curve of how it all kind of works within Replit, and I'll show you here while that video is generating. So this is Replit. If you go to the home page, it's just, hey, what do you want to make? And you just tell it what you want to make. And I've got 3 projects here. The Calaroga MVP2. This is what we're building. What you can see on that other page has been deployed. I'll come back to that. Still creating the video. This is a deployed or like a published version of what Replit makes behind the scenes, which is here. And this is all the code on the left here. There's a couple of main files I've learned how to use: index JavaScript and workspace and settings are the 3 ones you'll use. It builds all these things pretty quickly. You get to understand it pretty quickly, and every time you make one little change, it builds.
Sing a song about a wombat.
All right, so it used me somehow there, but it is linking and it is working and connecting to Hey Jen. So we've got all our elements. They're there, they work, and then that next thing to do was, okay, what did we hate the most? We hated the audio editor. It was just clunky. None of them worked. They're all awful. So I searched around for all of these are done with API keys. They are free and available. You pay eventually for using the tokens, using content, using queries. That's why subscriber-based models are tiered, so that the more you use, the more it costs. These programs are all $10 or $20 a month. Replit, I'll explain that one in a bit later. So I got down to the audio editor. The good ones, Pro Tools, Audacity, do not have API keys. They are not available for the public. They don't want the public to have them. They're not interested in doing deals with these sorts of companies like us. The audio editors that are out there that have API keys are basically the shitty ones you see on those AI voice websites. And this is one I loaded. I can't even remember the name of it, but you can easily, if I find a MP3, you can drag and drop and play
Thursday afternoon after just 3 hours of deliberation.
All right, and I think you can add tracks to this, and you can do some really, it's just a really, really shitty audio editor. So I got to this point and went, well, fuck it. Why can't, if Replit can make this, can Replit make a digital audio workstation? And the Replit AI is really, really good. It's just as good. I think it is. I think it is Claude. It's integrated into it, so you can ask it really stupid questions and get good answers, and it's so easy. So I had started a second project to build a digital audio workstation, and if you go to the home page here, it's the Calaroga door. These are the deployments. This is a preview. The workspace is loading. App is running. And then over here down the bottom left, we just have a constant conversation going. And with this digital audio workstation, you have to build every single little element of it. It knows what a digital audio workstation is. It knows what Pro Tools is, but you can't just say, hey, build me a Pro Tools. You have to build every single little element, and I'm only 1/100th of the way in, and that's just like creating the design, which will look like this in a window. So it's got elements moving. I'm building a simple 8-track with a master fader. So there's like 2 mono tracks, 3 stereo tracks, some effects, and a master. And I'm trying to keep it really simple, but complex enough that I would enjoy using it, or could use it. I don't have to go to Pro Tools. It's part of our player. I can't move anything around in this yet. I don't even know if it plays audio. This is all like a mock setup. But every time you build, I built some plugins in. So we've got EQ, compressors, reverb, delays, just real simple things, but enough to get a little professional touch to it all. You can add some more tracks. We've got panning for stereo, all the meters, everything on separate tracks. So that's, see, these should be scrolling. Oh, see, that scrolls together. So that's a problem. With every 5 steps forward, it's 4 back, and you make little incremental gains. But you do. But it is fun designing. I can just say, hey, make me a zoom button that's preset with 3 different presets, and it'll make it. Something that would have taken 5 days for an IT department to do is now a simple command away. So that's where. So this thing so far, to get this far in, has taken about 15 hours. So I've spent about 5 days on it, like 6 hours a day. It's really good when there's a lot of frustrating moments when things don't work, and then it eventually gets over one hurdle, and it's really great at just talking to itself about fixing problems, because there are no real answers. It has to look at all the other code and try and figure out why something isn't working. So that's where the CalShark project is. That's what I've been doing all week. So right now I'm going to try and work on this a bit more next week. So the timeline on this says something like 3 to 4 weeks for this player. So I think that probably is pretty reasonable. Then go back to the user interface with the other elements and try and create so it all looks like one big pretty system and it all works together. I don't know, maybe 3 months we could do this. But then you'd have to start beta testing it. Then you have to get into the whole levels of how do you get it out there and put in the parameters for money and flow and tokens, and it becomes a bigger deal. But if we get a working model working, this is a really nice piece of proprietary value and an asset. Nobody has an audio workstation you can use. We just made our own, so we got value. I'm gonna make us $1 million one way or another. So that's where we're at. That's what I've been doing. Oh, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do anything? If you want to learn how to use this, because I would love to. You're gonna have to help me at some point along the line, beta testing and going through all the issues. and you can just go in and change the code on your own. If you want, play around with Replit and say, hey, I want to build a podcast app player, and try and make a calshark podcast app, because you've always said there isn't a good one out there, and maybe you can make one better, and that can be another side project. But if you play with that for a couple of hours, you'll understand how it all works, and you can easily jump in on this project and go, hey, I like how that fader works, but it's not pumping the volume, whatever. You can go make a fix without having to run it through me or put up a list of problems. Okay, that's where we're at. Enjoy your football night in America, and I'm going for a mug. I've had enough. Bye.